constitution could vary from province to province. And now there is a arrangement where up to ASP level recruitments will be taking place in the province itself, and thereafter they go into the national service. So if you have people recruited on different criteria and different basis, when the time for absorption into a common service comes up, it will lead to...
Mister, I just want to interrupt you for a second there. Now, this is not the first time that your party has been showing some sort of dissent towards the government. You saw the 18th Amendment of the Constitution being tabled as well. You all held press conferences, media briefings saying that you all are against the 18th Amendment of the Constitution. However, your party went ahead and supported the 18th Amendment of the Constitution as well. What would happen if this bill is also brought to Parliament? Will you all abstain, vote against, or vote in favour?
No, it depends on the issues. You see, now for instance, the proposal came up that there should be in both the Provincial Council Act, that is clause 37, and in the Constitution clause 154, that there should be which deal with amalgamating or joining 2 or 3 adjoining provincial councils. That this should be. Can I just finish what I had to say? That this should be modified. You see, on this issue, the position is that even if today, even if one council objects to this, there is provision for or the necessary to get a 2/3 majority to pass it. So now these issues, the question of merging, which I think is not, it was a transitional period when the whole issue of putting in this clause about merging came up, because the LTT, to be drawn into talks, insisted on that as a condition. So now in that context, it was a arrangement which had to be granted, but today it's a completely different context.
Minister, so your position is, Minister, your principal position is to strengthen the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. In the event this is tabled, in the event a bill is tabled in Parliament, are you all scared that you all will lose your positions in the government? Is that why you're not giving me a clear answer on this?
No, you're not giving me time to give you a clear answer. When I try to explain something, you're barging in.
I'm sorry. Right. You have very time, little bit of time for this whole interview.
So anyway, what you said is not justified in that context. But now, as far as we are concerned, where the issue of merger was concerned, we were prepared to agree with the resolution that came up, or the memorandum that came up in cabinet on that question. But on the other question, where, say, trimming the powers of the provincial council were concerned, we were totally opposed to that, and we said that that is a matter that should be decided at the Select Committee of Parliament. So if the former comes up, we will be happy to vote for that in Parliament, but the other matter is something that we feel should be taken up in the Select Committee.
Thank you very much, Minister, for joining us right here on our Primetime News. Thank you very much for visiting us despite your demanding schedule.
Right, okay, thank you.
That, of course, was the Minister, Senior Minister, Professor Nissa Vitarana, who is also the leader of the Lanka Sama Samaj Party, speaking exclusively to News First. A tense situation arose at the Negombo depot of the Sri Lanka Transport Board as a protest was held calling on officials to pay salary arrears of employees. The tense situation arose after the manager of the depot refused to speak to the media.
Before this tense situation arose, the SLTB employees of the Negombo depot engaged in a protest calling on officials to grant their salaries arrears.
අපි කවදාවත්ම මට මතක ඇටියට
Never in our history have we stepped onto the streets calling for salary increments or bonuses. We have never requested for promotions. All we are asking is to provide our salaries.
අනික පාරේ බහලා කටක් කරලා කියන්න පුළුවන් පඩියක් නෙමෙයි මහත්තයෝ අද CTB එකට තියෙන්නේ.
මාර දෙයක වැටුප් ලබා ගන්න තියෙනවා.
Salaries for 2 months are due to us. We receive 1,000 or 2,000 rupees.
ඒ වගේ රුපියල් 1000යි 2000යි.
Following the tense situation with the manager of the depot, the employees dispersed. However, the employees are continuing their strike action.
The complaint that was filed against the principal and the cricket coach of Trinity College, Kandy, was taken up today at the Kandy Magistrates Court. The Kandy Magistrate instructed both parties to reach a settlement.
A complaint was lodged against the principal and the cricket coach of Trinity College, Kandy, by Tiwan Virasuya, a father of a student of Trinity College. The complaint cites that the cricket coach was aware that students were being allegedly molested during an overseas tour. Based on the documents that were returned to the courts by the Judicial Services Commission, the case was taken up again. However, the request made on previous occasions, as well as to settle the issue, was obstructed by him on behalf of the complainant. He added that he wishes to pursue this case further. The case was given another date, the 10th of October. The courts instructed both sides to settle this matter. However, the complainant Tiwan Virasuya said that he is not prepared to resolve this and that he will pursue this matter further.
සමතයක් සඳහා තමා සූදානම් නොමැති නිසා මේ ඉදිරියට පවත්වාමට අදහස් කරන සිටින බව ගරු අධිකරණයට දන්වා යෙදුණා.
Meanwhile, a certain group obstructed the news press correspondent who was reporting on this incident.
I did speak to you. I spoke to the media. Don't have to sling money at the school. Don't sling money at the school.
Two gentlemen made comments on this.
Okay, don't sling money at the school. School එකට මඩ ගහන්න එපා. Don't let us. ඔයා ජජ් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න එපා. ඔයා තීරණය ගන්න එපා. ඒක උසාවියේ තියෙන මේක. Don't raise your hand. අපි ස්කෝල් එකට come from breathing.
You're with the news first. Up next is a look at Action TV.
On the 13th of March, Action TV revealed that the Central Province Rural Development Department, which was not established in accordance to the constitutional charter, was one filled with corruption and discrepancies, quoting the audit queries issued back in 2009, which is yet to be answered. The governor of the Central Province commented on the revelation made by Action TV.
වැඩ බලමේ පත්තිය මම දුන්නේ මමයි දුන්නේ ස්ථිර කරුවෙත් මම මට තාම අද වෙනකන් එම විගණන විමසුම් හෝ ඒ අක්‍රමිතා පිළිබඳව කිසිම විටක මට ලැබිලා නැත.
One fact highlighted in the audit query that the province's Rural Development Department had closed down 16 training centers for women in the province and attempted to auction off the 104 sewing machines that they classified as decommissioned. The audit query also noted that the aforementioned auction was called off as a result of the intervention by the audit officers. Though the aforementioned auction was filed after the Action TV revelation on the 21st of March, an investigation was launched onto the stock of sewing machines belonging to a training center in Udunura area that had been left neglected for a time period of 3 years. This letter, addressed to a representative of a company by the director of the Rural Development Department on the 10th of this month, clearly indicates that the director of the department was keenly showing interest on the neglected stock of sewing machines. The director of the department, who previously tried to auction off the 104 sewing machines as unusable, in this letter had inquired if it was possible to repair 16 of the 104 sewing machines. This raises two serious questions. One is that how did this director of the Rural Development Department come into a conclusion that apart from the 16 sewing machines, that all the other sewing machines cannot be used, while he is inquiring into the possibility of repairing the 16 sewing machines? The other is whether the remaining 88 sewing machines still do exist. Meanwhile, the governor of the province, who said that before the end of May the Provincial Rural Development Charter Bill would be presented to the council and be passed, and did not do so, has called for a special council session for tomorrow. The only item that has been included into the agenda for tomorrow is a resolution that will be presented by a ruling party member of the council. This resolution was one that was presented to the Public Petitions Commission at the Provincial Council on the 4th of this month. It was in December last year that the resolution, according to the Provincial Rural Development Charter Bill, was presented to the Council and a proposal was made to the Public Petitions Commission to pass it immediately. Thereby priority has been given at tomorrow's meeting to the resolution that was presented 24 days ago, leaving aside the proposal made by the Public Petitions Commission that was made over 6 months ago. The justifiability of this measure can only be determined when the Provincial Rural Development Bill is taken up at the Council session tomorrow. Governor of the Central Province, this is over to you.
National 100 meters champion Shehan Ambepitia will not be competing at the upcoming 20th Asian Athletic Championships. National 1500 meters champion Chaminda Vijayakon will also not participate in the Asian Championships.
The 20th Asian Athletics Championships will be held from the 3rd to the 7th of July at the Chhatrapati Stadium in Pune, India. Issuing a release today, the Athletic Association of Sri Lanka confirmed that 20 athletes will represent Sri Lanka at the Games. Data record of the Athletics Association of Sri Lanka, Saman Kumara, stated that Shehan Ambepitia lost the opportunity of competing at the Games as he has not met the required qualifications. Also, National 1500 meters champion Chaminda Vijayakon will not compete at the Asian Championships due to an injury sustained in an accident. Meanwhile, 400 meter hurdler Christine Sonali Merrill, who is qualified to compete at the World Athletics Championships, is training in the US and will represent Sri Lanka at the Asian Athletic Championships.
Taking a look at a story that News First has been following since this evening. A clash erupted during a rugby match played between St. Anthony's College Karugastara and Kingswood College Kandy. Tournament Secretary of the school's Rugby Association, Gamini Sajid Chandra, said that the game was halted due to a clash. This inter-school Division 1 rugby encounter was played at the Bogambara Stadium in Kandy. Clash was erupted in the 4th minute of the second half. Tournament Secretary of the school's Rugby Association, Gamini Sajid Chandra, said that Kingswood College Kandy was leading by 6 points to 5 when the match was halted. The losing team of the match was to face relegation to the 2nd division of the tournament. With that, we wrap up tonight's edition of News First. I'm Shamir Rasuldeen.
And I'm Krishna Panitratna. Good night.
Hotline 0114 896 896 www